Welcome Virgo, this is your August 2025 forecast, and you see the transits listed here. We're going to focus on the new moon in Virgo in your sign on August 22nd, highlighting your career and finances. So it's time to initiate a soul-aligned project or do a health reset. Set powerful sunrise intentions and take one aligned micro action daily for soulful momentum. Let's see what we have going on for Virgo this month. We have the Three of Cups. What else? We have the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. All right, so you may be completing a particular license, certification, or degree or program of some sort, so there is reason for you to celebrate. Or you may have received a promotion or partnered with someone, or I'm just seeing that there is a cause here for celebration, and it is with your colleagues or your community or your family for a job well done or a huge accomplishment or achievement that you have received or encountered this month. We also have the Seven of Swords here with the Seven of Pentacles. So you may have even come into a greater understanding of what your purpose is and what your calling is. And it may be something that is incorporating your spirituality or your esoteric gifts in some way. So this may be you identifying the gifts and talents that you want to explore or that you want to begin to share with your community in some way here, but just knowing that this is a journey that you're on here, so there is more work that is coming to you, but you put in a lot of work and effort already at this point. And even if it's just like I said, coming to that realization of like, oh, okay, now I know what it is that I am to do and how I'm supposed to share my gifts and what my purpose is. So it's like you are making achievements, having accomplishments, but you're also realizing and recognizing like, oh wow, there's so much more that I can do with this knowledge and wisdom that I do have and that I have gained, or with these accomplishments that I've reached. There's so much more. Excuse me. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So see, we do have some huge accomplishment here that you're receiving or experiencing. And then we also have you standing up for your beliefs. And that's why I did want to call in the spiritual component here. So it's a higher level of enlightenment and raising your frequency in some way. And coming into that understanding and knowing that, it is time to share your gifts. And some of you are wanting to be financially free from those using those gifts, and that's definitely an option here for you. So let's see what else we have. We do have cursed career and abundance mentality, and give me some clarity on this cursed career. Okay, Six of Wands. So it's nothing you can't handle here. So this may be in your mind here. So if you feel like, you're trying to take 2 steps forward and then you have a setback and you feel like you've taken 4 steps back with that setback that you experience here, or just feeling like, everything that you're trying is not working out in the way that you're desiring it to in some way. And so you may still be confused. And even though you have these accomplishments and you're making progress, there is maybe something that comes up or an expense that comes up where it does make you feel like, okay, like I'm really trying to do this. I'm really trying to make these accomplishments and achieve these gains here. And in some way you feel a little held back, or you feel like it's always something that's coming in towards you. And that is okay here that we're seeing with the Six of Wands coming out. It's nothing that you can't handle. Even when you're feeling like you can't handle it, you absolutely can. And you're going to be so proud of yourself for persevering through it and figuring out what is best for you and figuring out what your next steps are. And you're going to find, as you work your way through any setback that you have or any obstacle or any contrast that comes up, you are going to find how powerful you are, how brave you are, how courageous you are. And that is yet another thing that you can be proud of when you're looking back on this. Okay. So let's see what else. So what are some obstacles here? Let's get into that. So I want to make sure everything's in the camera here. All right, so we have the Four of Swords. So you may need to find some time to rest. You have likely been feeling a little drained here by all the work and the effort that you've been putting in. And, you know, this is inspired action here that we're talking about. So that is wonderful. You working towards goals that you feel passionate about, or just things that you know you need to set in place to build your financial foundation, your generational wealth, and your solidify your financial future here. You are putting in the effort and putting in the inspired action towards that. But, you know, there also is this indication that, you know, there may need to be some rest here. So whatever your self-care practices are that help you to relax your mind, to release any of the burdens, the fears, the doubts, the negative energy, or the past experiences that are coming into play here, it is time for you to relax and release that and get some rest and stay hydrated, work on your health and wellness routines, incorporate that in, but definitely get those self-care practices in so that you are able to continue to celebrate in a healthy way. What else? Okay, so we do have Justice. Okay, and like we said, there may be some setbacks that occur, or, you know, every time you think you're moving forward, you know, something happens or an expense comes up and, you know, causes you to have to course correct and, you know, scramble to try to ensure that ends are met here. So we do see that you may struggle a little bit with creating that balance and maintaining that balance here. But this is an experience and it's temporary, and you are working your way through this. What else? So we do have the Chariot, and then there's also a little bit of a struggle with allowing yourself to be divinely guided here. And I do understand, and what I'm hearing is that as a part or as a result of these setbacks and as a result of you like making progress, but then, oh, something comes up, you may just be feeling a little like, okay, what source? What is it that you want me to do? What why is this happening? Why is it feeling like I can't just take the next step and then take the next step and the next and the next? You know, you may take one step and then 2 steps back and then 3 steps forward. So, you know, it is in a little bit of disarray here. However, you know, these are the experience that are allowing you to gain that knowledge and wisdom and to continue to build your strength, your character, and you remembering who you are and how strong and powerful you are, and allowing that to come into play here, and allowing life to sort of flow through you, and allowing yourself to be divinely guided here. So these are the challenges that you may face this month, so you are aware as they come up. So I do want to see here any underlying issues. So we do have the Knight of Swords here. All right, and so you may find, and we did speak to this a little bit, that it is a little tougher to be courageous, to be brave, to really charge ahead here, because when you do that, you're like, damn, you know, this came up or that came up, and you just kind of feel a little defeated in some ways at certain times, but you taking a very straightforward approach and just going back and adjusting your plans and, you know, really digging in, delving into whatever contrasts or challenges that come up, and allowing yourself to be flexible and open and finding new solutions, and also allowing yourself to hear the downloads that are coming to you and the information that you are receiving. So also allowing yourself to be open to that is part of the process. And I also feel like there may be a little bit of, because we're looking sort of underlying here in the subconscious, so again, allowing yourself to be flexible and open. And then I also feel like there may be some things that you can do that you may not be wanting to do. You just may not want to do those things. Like if it's like, you know, finding an additional source of income, or, getting out into the community in some way, or, sharing your resources, or, just whatever this is. And it's going to be different for everyone. But again, there may be some options or solutions out there that you just find are like, I don't know if I want to do that. Even those thinking about those cause you a little bit of anxiety or stress. There's resistance toward those options in some way. But again, like keeping yourself open. We'll get some advice here, but I am hearing sort of like being open, being flexible, being adaptable, and removing the ego out of the situation. Again, you may need to adjust your plans. You may have expected yourself to be at this particular position with your finances, and it's not quite there yet. So instead of coming down hard on yourself and beating yourself up for that, this is about you shifting that perspective, reframing it, getting your rest and relaxation, replenishing yourself so that you can come back stronger than ever, and you can adjust the plans, and you can get back at it and persevere and take that inspired action towards your goals and your dreams, because you absolutely have success as an outcome here. But this is the journey. This is the process of you getting to that place. So let's look at beliefs. We have the Emperor here. Wonderful. So I do feel like you are in the place where you do want to see that balance, and you're working very hard toward it. I think, like I said, I'm calling it ego. So that may not be the appropriate term for it, but I just don't know how else to explain it. But I feel like there's very specific things that you're wanting and desiring and trying to force to happen, as opposed to just allowing things to flow and doing what you can, doing the best that you can, and doing what you know how to do at this point in time. Because again, there may be some things like really cutting down or cutting these services, streaming services off to save money. Like there's some really specific things that you already know that you can do that you may be creating a little bit of resistance with those. But if there is any way that you can really work towards balance, and maybe it's not, you don't have to cut all 5 of the streaming services off. Maybe you kind of need to just cut down, so maybe you would have 3 instead of 5. So there's definitely some balance that you can create there, and some compromise that you can create within your environment that is going to help you to persevere and help you to get back on track. Okay, so let's look at, wonderful. So I feel like you are determined, and you will accomplish the goals that you are setting for yourself and you want to achieve. And I'm thinking in particular as it relates to your finances and your generational wealth and your foundation, and taking care of the necessities in your environment. So you will reach that point where you're able to do that comfortably, and you have hope and faith that you will get to that place. So that is wonderful that you are striving towards that, and you know that that is possible, and you know that you can get to that state where you are feeling fulfilled emotionally, financially, and you are in an environment that is comfortable and fulfilling to you. So let's look at your approach here. And you're trying to take I see the balance coming out here. So I feel like you're trying to balance things emotionally, mentally, physically, and just in your 3D environment. You're bringing balance, you're bringing peace, you're bringing options, you're opening yourself up to ideas and messages that you're receiving. So you're being guided to really continue to do that, and then notice when you are not doing that. So that is also the other key, the other piece to this, that when you do know that your emotions are, you're just not in a good place at that time, that may be time for you to get your self-care practices in, step away, do your breath work, do your meditation, take a walk or exercise, or talk to a soul family member, just whatever it is that you need to do to help regulate your emotions and to help you process what's going on here and identify positive solutions for yourself. So we do have in your environment, there's definitely going to be some temptations that come up. There's going to be the opportunity for you to get off track. So you may see some things that you want to buy, or, you may decide like, I don't care. I'm just going and getting this new car or whatever, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But you may decide to do some things that aren't necessarily beneficial to you at this point in time, and that are just going to create more of a burden or more stress on you at this time. So you do want to think about that if you're thinking about doing anything like that, or really splurging on something significant at this time. You may want to think that through. Okay, so this, you can do whatever you want at this point. We know that you have free will, but this is just that reminder of, you may want to, look at where you're at and see if that is the best option at this time for you. So the answer is going to be different for everyone, and there is no wrong choice, but we do see that temptation out in your environment. And I also see that there could be the potential to like overspend or splurge on particular things. So it's not just about a major purchase, but, it could just be like door dashing or something like that, where, you could take a look at that and say like, okay, I'm kind of spending, several $100s a week, and I really need to cut that down. So, it's just like those little things, those little areas where already that you can make improvements on, and you can cut out the waste. That is what you're going to be tempted with to continue down that path, or you can change and make some adjustments so that it's more aligned with the goals that you have. And then let's move to guidance here. So we do have the 10 of Cups. So this is really about you staying positive and continuing to reframe these situations and these setbacks and these obstacles that come up. Reframe them in a positive way and take the lessons from that you can. And I know that's, I'm just saying like, oh, just make it positive. No, I'm saying that with the experience, if there's a way that you can identify what the benefit of that is, if it is like, okay, I have these 5 streaming services, and, I know that I really need to cut down a certain amount all around in my budget. So let me cut those down. But then, this gives me opportunity to work out, or to spend more time with my kids, or to spend more time with my family, or to listen to audiobooks, or to go back through and learn a new language or something, or I can get to writing that book that I wanted to write, so that's what I'm saying, as far as sort of reframing things and looking at them in a way that it's actually benefiting you, because everything happens for you, not to you. So if you can not place yourself, and I'm not saying you're doing this, but if you can, in situations like that, when things come up, not view yourself as the victim, but view yourself as the powerful being that you are, and like, okay, you know what? Here's how I'm going to process this. And even if you have to kind of separate yourself out from this situation and look at it from a higher perspective, so that you can see different perspectives and different sides of it, that may help you to be a little more objective and say like, okay, you know what? In cutting these down, I'm going to have more time to meditate. I'm going to have more time to exercise, or whatever, like we were saying. So that's just what I mean when I say like reframe it into a situation or scenario where you can extract out lessons or the positive options or ideas that come from it, so that you can quickly process what you need to process and move on. So yeah, this is really about staying positive in those moments where you are experiencing obstacles and challenges, and as a result of that, coming out on top. Let's see what else we have. So we have, yes, knowledge and wisdom coming to you from your higher self and source. Wonderful. So it is clear right here. Listen to the messages that you're receiving. Connect with your intuition. See how the different options or ideas are feeling to you. Visualize that out. What's that going to look like? How's that going to feel? What does that mean for everyone involved? All of those around you, your family, your loved ones. And then make your decision. You may even find yourself collaborating with your loved ones, with your partner here, which is wonderful. It's positive. That's recommended here to come to those win-win solutions. We also have the Queen of Wands. So this is you getting back to a place where you are feeling fulfilled, you're feeling comfortable with your decisions, you're feeling strong and confident about the inspired action that you're taking, these adjustments. And also, as we said, there may be a couple things that it's like, okay, I can do this to save, but I don't really want to. So when you get to that place, you know, this is you stepping into your power and saying like, yeah, I'm going to do this because I know in the end it's going to bring me success and fulfillment here. All right, let's see what else we have. Be open to change and go with the flow of life. That just sums up everything that we're saying here. Being open, flexible, and adaptable. And then we have grounding. So that is a wonderful reminder to stay grounded. So if you haven't done that yet, get out, walk on some grass here and ground yourself. And you may want to also do some meditations on your chakras to ensure that, you know, that earth star chakra and the root chakra are flowing nicely and balanced. All right, Virgo, so those are the messages I have for you. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful month.